Very welcome. If you're just joining us, don't forget you can listen back to all of the show as a podcast. The first hour had some great stuff in it as well, and you can watch the videos from this part of the show, including that chat with Riyadh Al Samurai. Brilliant joining us from America, Gordon. And you seriously must be quite proud of the fact that he's worked with the two of you. You and Fraser know him well, but a multi-award winner and doing some good stuff.
It's unbelievable. I mean, all jokes aside, 20 years ago, he came in as a young kid, work experience, and I sent him off to a couple of matches, which I thought after a few weeks he'd be soaked, he won't want to come back. But he kept coming back. He kept coming back, and some of the copy he wrote then was really, really top draw. And, as a reward, I did give him the Senior Cup final. I thought that would give him a bit of a boost to try and get into the industry. And I never envisaged that he would get as far as what he has, but he thoroughly deserves the accolades he has had now, because he is a top journalist. And Fraser as well is another top journalist. He's very capable as well.
I'm just wondering then, Gordon, did you annoy Fraser that year that Riyadh got the Senior Cup final?
I wasn't there then.
He wasn't there then. He wasn't there. Fraser came a few years later down the line. And equally, he was just as talented as well, Fraser, and he's still writing good stuff now. I was interested to read your article today about the Frosbury flop, the guy that invented that and won the 1968 Olympics. He died, sadly, but I remember that being all the rage when I was in school doing the Frosbury flop.
Funny, it's standard procedure now, isn't it? But it actually revolutionised the
it did.
No, absolutely. Right.
Sad news now.
Okay, let's have a look back on what happened on Saturday. Now, you were all, and Gordon is disputing what his prediction was for the Italy-Wales game, but I think you were all a little bit nervous, weren't you, about Wales going to Rome at the weekend? And Italy played well, so I think we should give Wales some credit, Fraser, for that win.
Yeah, look, it was a win. They needed a win. I'm not really, after everything that's gone on off the field, I'm not really in the process of breaking it down to the and being sceptical and criticism. I think, Italy, if we're honest about it, made a series of line breaks. They should have finished off. Wales was slightly fortuitous with 2 tries. We've got to be honest about that. But they need to win for a couple of reasons. Firstly, for morale reasons, if nothing else, after everything that's gone on. And of course, the financial situation they're in at the moment, there is a big difference between finishing 5th and 6th. That's the grim reality of the accounts at the WRU at the moment. I think from an Italian point of view, I did predict them to win. I'm not going to try and reverse that now. Where I suspected they may come unstuck and where they have, and it's something we've talked about with Scotland over the years. Is this the first time they really went into a game as favourites?
Yeah.
They weren't throwing caution to the wind. They weren't underdogs. They weren't looking to upset the big boys with no expectation. They were actually favourites. And it's a different kettle of fish. Gordon will tell you that, managing a game when you expect it to win. They're not used to that pressure. They're not used to getting over the line in games where there's expectation on them. And that's something that's going to have to come next for them, because they can play. They played against Wales. They wasted chances. They wasted opportunities. But game management and being able to play are 2 entirely different things. And Wales perhaps benefited from that.
Sometimes, Gordon, I think, when your backs are against the wall and you do need to get a win, I think Fraser's right. Performance almost doesn't matter. I think Wales had to go to Rome and show some character and to come away with a win. They did, didn't they?
Yeah, it was important. It was vitally important, as Fraser said, for the squad as well. It's to build their confidence. They've never been so low for many years. And Italy went into that game as the favourites. They were playing the better rugby before that game. But Wales believed that they could get a result, and that belief carried them through that game, to be honest with you. They had that little bit of luck. Rhys Webb with that first chip ahead, the kick ahead, and it bounced straight into the arms of, I can't remember who it was, scored a try. Faletau threw it. Yeah. Faletau threw a terrible pass out to the right along the ground, and it fell into Liam Williams's hands, and he got enough momentum to get over. I mean, those 2 tries, they shouldn't have happened as far as Italy are concerned. It was poor defending. But there we are, it happened. We needed a little bit of lady luck, and we had it. And Rhys Webb made it one beautiful break there. And he's 34, 35, is he now? He didn't have the legs to go, but fair due to Faletau, he got on his shoulder, took the scoring pass. And, we deserved to get that victory in the end. But Italy were in it. They were in it.
They were. Mistakes. Oh, Tom, it was a good game. Tom, you said that to us on WhatsApp. It was a good game.
It was a really good game. And I think Italy were caught by surprise with just how galvanised Wales were, with all of this contract stuff settling and strikes settling. And I think Falatau's come out and said that the camp is now more unified. And they came out as a team. It's the most unified I've seen all 15 players on the pitch.
Yeah.
But a win will do that as well. A win will help bring the dressing room together, whatever the circumstances. Sorry, chaps, we're out of time, so we can't really talk about what happened
because they lost by 50 points. I'll get that one in.
It is France. It is France next, isn't it, for Wales? And they were awesome on Saturday. But that rebuilding job for Steve Borthwick, that's a big one now, isn't it? That's a huge rebuilding job.
But we can't say too much. Wales are going out to Paris, so we'll leave it at that.
It's right. Gatland come back. He's going to go too. He's going to do it.
Did you give them any chance Fraser in Paris?
No, I think what I'm doing is a major warning signal. They got to Wales. They got dismantled at the breakdown. Wales have struggled at the breakdown all championship. You can't afford that with France. And then, like with Italy, if they make line breaks, you see what happens. They score tries. You know, they could. Wales have got to really front up defensively, and at the, like I said, there at the breakdown, contact area,
massive.
A long day in Paris.
The thing with France scored when France play like they did against England, they are unbelievable, aren't they?
They're great to watch. They are great to watch. They're so flamboyant, aren't they? You know, and they'll try anything. It's ridiculous some of the stuff they do, but they play really good rugby. And they got Sean Edwards behind them now, which is even more dangerous because he will set the bar that high, and they'll have to reach it. And if they don't, there'll be consequences.
Yeah. Okay, Tom, were you going to come in?
Yeah, I was just going to say, France at the moment, we love France and their flair, but they're just so clinical now with it as well. It's not just reckless abandon. There was one try. It was basically through the hands, but it was so fast, so incisive. It made England look like a school team because they all jumped out of the line. They were all misshaped. It was impressive. Oh, we've got a message here now. Stephen Price, Wales got nothing to lose. Just go for it. That's interesting.
Well, they haven't got anything to lose.
No, they haven't.
It could be.
But I'm afraid France will be too strong for Wales on the day.
Okay, final round of Six Nations games coming up this weekend. We'll keep an eye on that, and we'll look back on them on the show next Monday. Tomorrow, Rob Page names his first Wales squad since the World Cup in Qatar. Fraser, a few players won't be there. Gareth Bale won't be there. Joe Allen won't be there. There will be some new, Chris Gunter, Johnny Williams as well.
Johnny Williams,
but all retiring. So that does open up some spaces, doesn't it? Anyone we should look out for in that squad, do you think, tomorrow, Fraser?
Well, as you said in the report in the first hour, Ben, I think inadvertently things took a twist on Saturday, actually. I think Ollie Cooper would certainly have been in, Swansea's best player this year, one of the few shining lights of late. Swansea's best player in the first half, actually, against Middlesbrough, created the goal. Then went off at half-time injured, and with the short turnaround to the international, you can be very doubtful now that he'll be there. And, of course, Brennan Johnson going off for Nottingham Forest on Saturday at big blow. I think he probably would have started these games, if I'm brutally honest. He's gone off against Spurs with a groin problem. If that's any kind of seriousness in any way whatsoever, he won't be fit in time. So it's actually thrown a different dynamic again, Ben. It's always going to be a slightly new look squad, but with the players retired and these potential injuries, it's a difficult one to predict, actually.
Liam Cullen?
Look, I'll be honest with you, Ben. If you'd asked me this before Christmas or just after, I'd have said, yes, he has to be in the frame. Any player scoring goals in the Championship is going to be in the frame for Wales. That's a fact. You look at major championships, we've taken Championship players and below, actually, in recent years. The problem is, since that period, he seems to have fallen out of favour with Russell Martin again, and you sub again on Saturday. He isn't playing at the moment. If I was Robert Page at the moment, I would probably look at it and say he isn't playing enough to justify being selected. Having said that, the injuries to Johnson and Cooper may help him there.
Yeah, it might
Gordon,
open up a space.
What about the boy from Wrexham? What about Paul Mullin? 37 goals he scored in the Vanarama National League. Fraser's shaking his head. Can you call up a player who's not playing in the Football League?
You just answered your own question when you said Vanarama National League.
Yeah. There's no chance that he'd be involved.
But he took a step down, didn't he? He did that. He was a League Two player who went
it's
down.
What you're playing, what level you're playing at now. He's got to be in the Championship's low enough, but you've got to be a Premiership player. And at the very least, I would say a Championship player to play international football.
I think
anything below. But then, on saying that, I can remember Welsh League players being on the bench for there was the boy Lloyd many
Gary
years
Lloyd
ago.
from Llanelli, wasn't it?
Yeah. But I don't think it's going to happen.
There was always a clamour for Rhys Griffiths, wasn't it? That he was another Llanelli striker who scored 4 goals every season. Mullins, the Vanarama National isn't a bad standard. It's one off League Two, and arguably there's not much difference between the top of that Conference League and League Two. It's a no. It's a no from you're not playing. It's a no. It's a no.
You're not convincing me on this.
No. Okay. We shall see. But let's see whether Liam Cullen gets.
You're right. You're right. It is an increased standard. No, on a serious note, you're right. The standard of that league has increased. It does get more exposure now. Wrexham are a better team than that league, mainly because they've been bankrolled by Hollywood owners. We'll overlook that. But no, I wouldn't tout Mullin for Wales.
And talking about Wales, very quickly, wish Lee Jenkins, Haverford County, has been selected for the Welsh Seaside to play against England. He was on the bench last year. Hopefully, he will be selected in the starting lineup or get some minutes on the pitch. Good luck, Lee.
Yeah, brilliant effort. That's great to see him get called up. And also, we should say, well done to Neyland's Indoor Cricketers.
Yes.
We heard from Sean Hannon with Fraser in the first hour. They're off to Lords again. Success in the regional rounds. That's on April the 2nd, Fraser. And they continue to set the standard, don't they, in the indoor cricket?
Incredible.
They do. But I think they'll come at this with a different angle, Ben, to be honest. We heard Sean saying the first time. They've been there 3 or 4 times now, haven't actually made the final stage and won it. And I think they're going with a different outlook this time. I think it's time for them to succeed there. They'll see it that way. They don't want to just go in there and be happy with appearing at Lords. But no, you are right. It's a great achievement to keep doing it year on year. It's a difficult format with travelling and nothing else.
Yeah, they've done absolutely brilliantly. Okay, that is all from us for this evening. We'll be back again next Monday from 7. You can catch the first hour and this one as well as a podcast and look back on all of the videos on the Facebook page. KT is on the way next. Tom, Gordon, Fraser, thank you very much indeed. It's the Mood Train next on Pure West Radio. Good night.